A spiritual journey is very personal process. It has nothing to do with the other or anyone else. If you are confused, if there are questions in your mind that is the my journey, inner journey is authentic or I am on the right path, that means there is confusion. And confusion means that you are on ego trip. It is very personal. When I say personal, it is personal. It is like a flower blossoming. It has nothing to do with any other flower that is about or in the process of blossoming on the same plant, or it is only concerned with its own growth, and it does not go and ask anyone if I am on the right path. Once everything, the nourishment is provided by the right, in the right proportion, it's not that the nourishment is not provided in the right proportion. For the plant it may be, but there are two processes. The nourishment is always available. Do you have the capillary system operating properly to draw the nourishment? Everything that you see around is nourishment and provides you impetus for your own growth, provided you have the capacity to absorb. When you see a situation, it is two options are there. You can draw inspiration from it, or you can criticize it and condemn it. If everything that is happening, the blossoming of the flower, the raindrops falling, the breeze surging through the tree, a child giggles, or you are making love, the moans, all those things are an inspiration for the continuation of your process. If it is happening, you are aware of it. You are getting nourished and nurtured by everything that is happening around you. Then you need not ask anyone. A flower does not have to go and ask anyone if I am on the right path. You may say flower cannot speak, right? Yes, flower cannot speak. Love is something that speaks through silent gestures and pronounces aesthetic beauties. When I say silent gestures depend or differs from person to person. Silent gestures of a child will be of a different nature. The silent gesture of your beloved or lover will be of a different nature. The silent gesture of the flower will be of a different nature, but it is very subtle. When a woman gets pregnant, first experience that she feels it within, existence is provided proper indications biologically, medically, in different ways. The biologically, that can be proven scientifically, the emotional, the innerness, all these are various symptoms. So the only thing is a confirmation that what you are thinking, what has happening to you is right. So the elderly ladies within the area or the house know that this person is pregnant. So first the feeling comes within, then you get the confirmation. So when it comes to enlightenment, the first feeling comes within. And when this feeling comes within you, then someone confirms, yes, you are right, this is what is happening. This is what it is. So if you say that I don't know, that means there is confusion and you are on the ego trip. You may be acting. Ego trip means an acting. You are doing an acting in a movie scene that you are pregnant. You can be a well trained artist, but you will make a miss somewhere or the other. The walk changes, the other gestures change in the woman. There is a different kind of a glow or a splendor on the face. This is an expression of inner joy. When you are in the company of your beloved or lover, and so the expressions, the bodily movements, and many such things are indicate that something magnanimous or grand is or unimaginable, unexplainable is happening between the two. The peak of that unexplainable happening in terms of sex, we can call it as peak orgasm. When this exuberance, this expression of joy continues in a very subtle manner, you are not striving for anything, but it is happening. Sometimes it happens. It is like you are eating a delicious sweet dish. So there are few expressions. The first expression is when you taste it, immediately the expression comes on your face. Then this effect continues for some time on your face, depending on the situation, and that becomes a subtle expression. That is the valley expression, valley orgasm. So in a spiritual journey is like you are in constant communion with your innerness, or you are in love affair with your innerness. The mind, the thinking is no more. You are feeling, and from the feeling you have moved to the being. You are not doing anything, but you know what it is happening. That is in sex known as valley orgasm. When this is happening, that means it is authentic and there is no confusion. It is not a question of deceiving anyone else. The question of deceiving yourself, deceiving oneself. If you are confused, there is doubt, it is certainly an ego trip. The moment search begins, becomes authentic, there is no doubt, faith happens, journey continues. The blossoming of the flower is the search for its inner splendor. The flower has blossomed, and its blossoming is becoming more and more authentic. Its beauty and fragrance is reflected through everything that is happening or surrounding the flower. It is authentic. You don't need to ask anyone about it. Let me put in some other ways. Whenever you use a phrase like such problems, this is indication of confusion. Exactly shows that you are on the wrong path. Someone comes and says that, tell me, I don't know if my meditation is going deep or not. You have to get the indication on your own. You don't need to ask anyone. Just as when something, a simple example, flower I told you, but you will say flower cannot speak. But when you are making love, it is not an ego trip. It is not to give the indication to the other, your lover or beloved, that you are enjoying and the person is doing great. No, it is not that trip. When something authentic happens and the act is going deeper into you, you do not have to ask anyone. It is expressive through your gestures, through your face movement, through the splendor that comes on the face, and so many others. So, if it is going deep, there is no need to come and ask. The depth is such an experience that you will know it, that it is happening. And if you cannot know your depth, then who else is going to know about it? You have come to ask someone because you are not feeling the depth. The best example, when the sex is happening in the right manner, you begin to feel the depth to which you are going or you are being carried through that act. This is not ego trip. It is the search for inner oneness, inner union. And the same thing begins to happen in meditation. It is the communion between you, your inner being. Through sex, you come to know about your being. Earlier, as such, the lover and beloved are separate. In certain moments, you become one. Timelessness, egolessness comes in. You experience your innerness or your being. And when in meditation, you have already experienced your innerness or beingness, and now you are experiencing this innerness or drop merging into the ocean. A communion, a love affair between the drop and the ocean, between the micro and the macro. It may sometimes happen that you become aware, and slowly as the things begin to deepen, you will begin to feel every subtle movement. When you are ill, you know that you are ill. It may sometimes happen that illness may be very deeply hidden. That's why it is said, when the sickness or illness comes, first it comes at the level of the energy. Then, when the energy is flowing, the two poles merge, and then there is an expression, illumination, as I use the word. Then it will begin to manifest at the physical level. When the energy is flowing through the bulb, positive current, it neutralizes the two, the illumination happens. You may not be aware that it is coming to you, but the reverse never happens. When you are perfectly healthy, you know it, but it is never hidden. When the sickness is coming, it is hidden and you are not aware of it. When there is a health, there is a happiness, there is a joy, then you know it. It may be that for your illness, you may not be aware, but for health, if health is there, if happiness is there, you are aware of it. Because the very phenomena of health is a phenomena of well-being. If you cannot feel your health, who is going to feel it? The same way, your spiritual journey or inner trip, only you can feel. All the illness, symptoms of illness are disappearing, and health is beginning to manifest in many different ways. You are the first person to feel it within. If you cannot feel happiness, the health within you, or your state of blissfulness, who else is going to feel? For your ill health, there may be experts to tell you that what type of disease you have. So when an individual comes in the company of, so he has to be diagnosed and his process has to begin. So in the beginning, for his illness to be diagnosed, he needs somebody's help, an expert. But when the process has set into motion and journey continues, you begin to feel it for the first time, and the physician, when you visit, asks you how you feel. So he has to ask you. Then if the need arises, he may check something. That this treatment was given for something malfunctioning, and now that has to be checked if that malfunctioning is over. So sometimes it may be necessary. So the physician does in his own way, but the master does in his own subtle manner. But the first indication of that comes to you. And when health comes in, you are feeling more energetic. When you are on the spiritual journey, whatsoever you are doing, whatsoever role you are performing in life on a moment to moment basis. It is not important. What is important? What this act adds to your inner dimension, be it cooking, be it walking, be it writing something, be it painting, be it playing the music, be it having sex. All these are the different things that we perform on a day-to-day basis as part of our living. And when the symptom of the malfunctioning are getting over, the expression comes from deep within. There is no need. But if you ask if you are healthy or not, then you are really not healthy. That much is certain. And this confusion shows that you are on the ego trip. So when there is a spiritual journey continues and it is moving in the right direction, it continues to give you inner indications. Indication from within in myriad ways. That means there is no confusion and you are on the right path. So when you are on the spiritual path, you cannot know whether it is an ego trip or an authentic search. Then there is a confusion and it is not an authentic search. It is sort of ego trip. The same thing happens in everything. When you have prepared a dish, those who are eating, they may say something, but the expression on their face cannot be false. There may be lack of coordination between the expression on their face and the words that they speak. But the expressions, when something has been consumed and it has gone, you have eaten, the expression that comes on your face through your gestures cannot lie. What is the ego trip? You are less concerned with the real phenomena. You are more concerned with possessing it, more concerned with others telling you. So you are more concerned with when you make something, you want to ask again and again from everyone, how is it tasting? Is it tasting good? Or how did you enjoy it? That is not necessary. If you are a subtle face reader, you will know through the expressions and through the gestures it is happening. And this is the only criteria to know. Enough for now. We will continue